This is the latest product being offered by Hansshow. I'm Frugal Tesla Guy, and I'm going to tell you what it is and what I think about it. As a Tesla Model 3 owner, I absolutely love the simplistic design of the interior. It was a bold step by Tesla to not include an information display behind the wheel. And although it took a little getting used to, in the end, you still need to take your eyes off the road for essential information, and in particular, your speed. Now, some people have gone so far as to mount their smartphones behind the wheel, and with the right app, it will give you your speed, direction, and a plethora of other information depending on the app. There are also several different app options that will turn your smartphone into a heads-up display, otherwise known as a HUD. Now, most likely, you will also need to apply a reflective windshield film for better image resolution. You can even purchase a holder with a built-in reflective screen. But in the end, you need to use your phone, which means you'll need to place it on your dash when you get in the car and grab it before you get out. That's where this comes in. It's the Hansshow heads-up display. And unlike any other third-party HUD units, it was designed specifically for the Tesla Model 3. And why? Now, the unit I have is the first generation, meaning it only displays some basic information, such as the current speed, battery status, drive status, that's whether you're in drive, park, or reverse, or neutral, turning signals, charging status, and the energy bar indicating energy being used or regen. The overall installation of my HUD is fairly complicated, and I won't go into that process because all of the HUDs going out at this point will have a much simpler installation that connects to the OBD2 plug behind the armrest under the rear vents. On top of that, it will offer several different display options along with the ability for Hansshow to push over-the-air updates to your unit. Now, since it's plugged into the OBD2 port, the information displayed on the unit will be instantaneous without any delay and will be in line with the center console display. That way, you can be confident that the information you're getting is coming directly from the car. Now, as I mentioned, I have the first generation with basic information being displayed. But future updates will include navigation, phone calls, texts, music data, autopilot data, just to name a few. And since it will have over-the-air updates, these are features that will be added over time, and the new features will depend on the popularity of customer requests. Now, there are also plans to possibly add a Bluetooth function with an app. To be honest, up until this point, I never even thought about getting a heads-up display. It just never really crossed my mind. As I mentioned earlier, I really do like the overall simplistic design of the Model 3, and not to mention the Y. So when asked if I wanted to give their heads-up display a try, I thought, why not? Now, once I had it installed, I thought, do I really want this thing sitting on my dash? But once I turned it on and started using it, I could see the reason why people like these. The more I used it, the more I got used to it and found that I don't look over to the center console nearly as much as I used to. In fact, I never really realized how much I look to see how fast or slow I'm going since I installed the HUD. And even though you still need to pull your focus from the road to the display, the road is much closer to your peripheral vision. Now, when you shift your focus to the center console, you still have the road in your peripheral, but it's farther away, so it goes without saying that having a heads-up display is going to add a higher level of safety to driving. I was able to put the brightness to the test during the nighttime hours, overcast, and sunny days. The level of brightness to the display drops the more light and sunshine you add. However, that being said, I could still clearly see the display without any issues during the brightest of days. Rain on the windshield will have an impact on the display, but as long as you have the wipers going, it really isn't much of an issue. Now, you don't have to worry about the unit sliding all over the place because it comes with a soft non-slip pad that has a sticky feel to it but won't leave a sticky residue on the dash. Now I put that to the test as well with fast acceleration and sharp turns, and it didn't budge. So here's what I like about it. I like the fact it's tapping directly into the car's computer. The information is instantaneous and matches the center console to a T, even down to the blinking turn signal. I like the simple design in which the information is displayed. It's not cluttered with information, and my eye goes right to what I'm looking for, once again adding to the level of safety. I also like the fact it stays put and turns off and on automatically. I don't have to think about it, and it's there when I need it. And since it's not a permanent, I can remove it if I want, and no one would know it was ever there. Now the main thing I don't like about it is the fact there is a wire that needs to run along the dash to the HUD unit itself. It's that constant reminder it's a third-party device. Now that being said, it does become less noticeable the more you get used to it. But if you're OCD at all, you may never get used to it. Now the cord is flat, so I was able to run it along the slit in the dash along with some double-sided 3M tape to help keep it in place and to make it a little less noticeable. If this is something you might be interested in, you're in luck, because if you use my discount code TESLAGUY, you'll get a 10% discount. I'll be sure to post a direct link in the description below. Now again, keep in mind, you will be getting the second generation heads-up display by Hansshow. So in the end, it is definitely something I would recommend, and especially if you have been thinking about or looking for a heads-up display for your Tesla Model 3 and soon for the Model Y. The simple setup by plugging into the OBD2 cable gives the device direct access to all of the data that will be displayed on the HUD unit, giving you instantaneous and accurate information, and with over-the-air updates, it will improve over time. Now that all being said, it's not for everyone, and quite honestly, you know who you are. If you cringe at the idea of having a third-party device sitting on your dash, then you probably haven't made it this far into the video. As usual, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Is this what you've been looking for, or are you going to hold off on this one? If you are interested in getting one, what type of information would you like to see in future over-the-air updates? Well, that's it for now, and you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and stay positively charged.